In today's video, I'm going to give you a no BS persuasion technique. A technique so powerful that it has allowed me to add on 200 grand to a client's business with basically no work from me and also no work from them. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a little while. But this stuff is ultra powerful, and the best thing about it is very ethical. I think that everyone should do this technique, and I think if you do it correctly, it will basically build trust with your clients, your customers, your future potential customers as well. Whatever business you're doing, I recommend this. Okay, so this persuasion technique is about the power of guarantees, guaranteeing your business. Now, you've probably heard this before because guarantees have been around since, the beginning of time in direct marketing. They recently got made popular, guarantees did, since Alex Hormozy released his book, $100 Million Offers, where he talked about adding a guarantee into your business. But honestly, I've seen so many guarantees recently, and I think some are great, some are bad, and actually take away from your business and reduce trust in your business as well. So I'm going to walk you through why guarantees work, the psychology behind them, how to do one properly, when you should do one, what you should avoid. This is a big area, particularly in the fake guru industry at the moment. I've heard that there's a lot of fake guarantees where they make it very difficult for people to actually ask for their money back. And also as well, I'm going to address the fear people have around putting a guarantee in the business as well. This is a very dry video, guys, so please stay with me. I hope you get some value out of this. When I was trying to, create notes and think about what I was going to say in this video, I was like, I've got to try and make this entertaining, but there's just no real way that you can talk about a guarantee in an entertaining way. So it's going to be incredibly dry, but at the same time, it's your choice whether you want to stay and get some value out of this as well. Okay, so guarantees. Why is it important that you do a guarantee? First of all, when you do a guarantee, it signals something, a bit of psychology to your customers, that you actually are so confident in your product that you stand behind it. The second bit of psychology is that it takes the client's risk and it reverses it as well. So by offering a strong guarantee, you kind of overcome the biggest mental barrier a person has when they come to buying a product. So when somebody goes to buy a product or a service, they get something called loss aversion happening in the background. And what loss aversion is, a cognitive bias that causes people to perceive losses as more significant than gains. So when somebody uses their money to buy a product or a service or some sort of coaching program or consulting or whatever you're selling, right? They are thinking more out loud to themselves, I wonder whether I am going to basically waste my money here. They're taking a risk on it. So the psychology of a guarantee is it allows you to say, hey, you know what? Let's settle that fear down a little bit. And actually, if you aren't happy with what you're buying, I'll just give you your money back. So this does two things. It increases the trust for the person, but it also takes on the risk of the person as well. And this is important because nobody wants to spend money on something and it basically not work out for them. Now, if you put a guarantee on something, what is the likelihood that you're going to see extra sales? So it varies by industry, and I've worked with a lot of different industries and helped with a lot of different persuasion tactics in many of them. But I'm assuming a lot of my audience are actually info-based audience, right? So they follow things like SMMA, the fake gurus. There's a lot of people selling, online information. Some is good, some is not so good, right? But it's all kind of like in the info product space, right? When you put a guarantee on a product there, it's common to see 10 to 30% increase in sales when you do that. So if you are launching a product and you do a launch without a guarantee versus a launch with a guarantee, the one with the guarantee will probably see an extra 10 to 30% increase in sales. And I've actually got an example of this, and this is a fairly recent example, to be honest with you. So one of the businesses I consult for, they do 9 figures a year and they launch high-end products. They released this brand new product recently and they did a launch of this product. And they did, from a single 2-week launch, 1,230,000, right? So on this product launch, they actually didn't have any guarantee in place, but they did so much revenue because they had such a large email list there. And it actually took some persuading from me to tell them, basically, look, you need to put a guarantee on here. I think you could actually crush the sales a little bit more if you just put a guarantee on here. And so they listened to me and they did a second launch to the same email list. And this is how much money they did on this launch. They did 1,427,000. Not bad, right? But let's break down the actual numbers. On this second launch, they added around about 16% just with a guarantee onto their actual overall sales. And you might think to yourself, oh, hold on a minute, surely a lot of people actually refunded as well because it's pushed a whole bunch of people over the line. Not necessarily. Only $6,000 came in refunds. So to put that into context, that's around about an extra 200 grand with a 6 grand loss. So around about an extra 194 grand net, all because they offered a little guarantee, because we have addressed that loss aversion that people fear, that, you know, the aversion to losing money, to having it spent the, you know, incorrect way, to make it a silly choice, right? And it's all because we reversed that risk for the customers there. Now, when I was younger and I was a bit more inexperienced in entrepreneurship, I basically didn't put a guarantee on anything. And I spoke to a lot of different entrepreneurs over the years as well. And there's a lot of fear about putting a guarantee on things. And the reason why there's a fear there is because people think to themselves, if I guarantee my product and I say, hey, you know what, you can have your money back if you aren't satisfied for whatever reason with my product, people are just gonna take me up on that. And I'm basically gonna have less money than I did before I put the guarantee in place. Do you know what I mean? If you sold at the equal amounts, but one's got a guarantee and everyone refunds one. Believe it or not, people aren't as exploitative as that. There is a little bit of truth to it, a sliver of truth there, and that is that there will be the odd few people who will buy your product based on the guarantee, knowing full well that you will give them their money back just so they can check it out, either copy it or, you know, use the information and then refund on it. There is, unfortunately, a very small portion of people who will take you up on that. But when you consider that you could add on a significant amount and only a portion of those people will actually refund, it becomes totally worth it. It's basically free money from doing no extra work. Now, next I'm going to show you basically some great examples of guarantees and how they work and everything. This is IKEA. I'm sure everywhere in the world has an IKEA. If you don't know what IKEA is, it's basically this giant store which sells all different sorts of furniture, all sorts of home stuff in there. Very popular in the UK, very popular in the US as well. But these guys do something really fascinating, and it's that they have such large guarantees on their products, right? Just take a moment and think to yourself what this feels like when I read this out to you. If you were in the market for a mattress, brand new mattress, right? And you were looking at a bunch of different places, and then you found IKEA's mattress, which offers a 10-year guarantee, what would you think to yourself? So you're looking at a bunch of different places that sell mattresses, and you see IKEA's mattresses and they offer a 10-year guarantee for any product defects. What would you think? Not only does that reduce the risk of you potentially losing money on this purchase here, but also it then becomes a selling point as well, because you know, oh, hold on a minute, if this is a 10-year guarantee, maybe mattresses only last 5 years. Maybe the mattress down the road that I was going to buy would only last 3 years. Now, if I get a mattress from IKEA, I can actually go there, and if it in 5 years' time it's broken or whatnot, I can go and take that mattress back and get a brand new one. So not only does it reduce the risk, it then becomes a selling point as well. So now it is pitched in such a way with such a strong guarantee that you're thinking to yourself, I actually might save money if I buy from those. And what does that do? That lets you trust the brand a little bit more. But what else does it do? The subtle psychology in the background is you think to yourself, oh, hold on a minute. If they are prepared to sell a mattress and give you a 10-year guarantee, that's got to be a great mattress, right? It's got to be high quality. So it's got all these little psychological effects on, and that is an amazing guarantee right there. I'm going to show you another example of a great guarantee. This is Premier Inn in the UK, and Premier Inn are basically just like a budget hotel chain. I have stayed in a bunch of them, and they just give you the basic room here with your little desk and that, and it's generally really nice. They're all over the place in the UK. Now, these guys have a guarantee, and their guarantee is, at Premier Inn, we're so confident you'll have a great night's sleep that if you don't, you can claim for a refund on the affected night. If there's a problem, just have a chat with a friendly member of staff at reception. So if you don't sleep well once you've stayed in their hotel, they will give you your money back. Now, let's think about that again. Let's process it through that little algorithm that we did before. Will there be a certain number of people who stay at this hotel for a night and think to themselves, you know what, I can probably get my money back here because I'm a cheapskate, right? Of course there will, right? But there's also gonna be a large number of people who feel that they need to reciprocate and keep the money where it is because they had an extremely good night. Humans like reciprocity. They like to return the favor. And these beds, let me tell you, at Premier Inn, it is a great night's sleep. I would love to sleep in one of those beds in a little hotel room by myself at all times, maybe after a long week or something like that. But they do offer a good night's sleep. But I'm not sure whether I'm just being sold on the psychology that they must have a good night's sleep if they're prepared to give me a money back. Do you see? So it even adjusts my perception. And my business is completely based in persuasion. I know all these little triggers, and I still am unsure whether it's actually nicer or whether I just think it should be nicer. And therefore that is now my reality. Do you see how that works? Now, one of my first ever business mentors is a gentleman called Ramit Sethi, and he has his own show on Netflix, and it's a really good show. But this guy was the guy who taught me the basics of business and the more advanced stuff as well. And he offers an incredible guarantee with any of the products that you buy. Try my products for 60 days, 100% risk-free. Try my entire program. If you don't love it, I insist that you have 100% of your money back. I'll even eat the credit card processing fees. Once again, an amazing guarantee. And that guarantee there shows that he's confident in his product and he's totally willing to just give you your money back. He does have a little section underneath that which says you have to show me that you've actually tried these actions from the course and that they haven't worked for you, and then we'll give you your money back, which I think is very fair. And then he also has a little bit which says, if you aren't willing to try and, take any of the action steps in this product, then basically don't bother buying, which I also think is very fair. But this is where in the internet marketing world, things can rapidly spiral out of control and go from ethical persuasion of a good guarantee into basically manipulation and very unethical kind of shady territory. So there is a lot of information that comes out of the fake guru industry that people offer guarantees on things, but they offer guarantees to try and get you over the line to buy their product, but they basically have no intention of ever refunding you if you did request a refund. And so their guarantee might look exactly like Ramit's there, which is try my program. If you don't like it, show me that you have, done the work and we'll give you your money back. But the actual way to get the refund is to do these ridiculous number of tasks that a person likely wouldn't be able to do. And so when you sign that contract for that course and you haven't been able to do the tasks which they've said is necessary to show them that it's not working to get a refund, you wouldn't be able to complete them anyway because it's not feasible to complete them. So that right there is manipulation actually in persuasion, and it's called sludge marketing. And sludge marketing is essentially where you make things incredibly difficult for a person to take action. So a quick overview for what this is. If something is very, very easy to purchase, it takes you one click to purchase, but then to actually try and get out of that subscription, you've got to email customer service and then basically take a call with them at an available time, and they try and contact you once and then you've got to explain to them why, and then they tell you to then email in why you want to cancel your subscription. That's called sludge, right? They've added all this friction, which is deliberate, by the way. It's manipulative to stop you from canceling your subscription, to stop you from basically getting your money back. But then some of the fake guru industry, they will actually do that same thing, but rather than have you email into support and jump through all these little hoops, they will basically say, you've got to complete all these actions to prove you've tried this program. And it's quite bad. I saw Tai Lopez was accused of basically making it very hard for people to refund at some of his old companies. And he's a marketer, which people now brand as like a dark marketer, a person who's maybe a bit unethical, and that's kind of, he comes with a bit of this distrust. He's actually got some quite good advice, believe it or not, but he has this aura of not being a very trustworthy person. And I think it probably comes from things like this, because when you do things like this, the word spreads. People end up not happy. It doesn't matter how good your PR team is out there. They think to yourself, if I spend money with you, you are just going to take my money and you're not going to give it back. But what else does that signal to people where they do this sludge type of marketing? If offering really strong guarantees shows that you're confident and that you're trustworthy and that you're willing to stand behind your product. What does a sludge guarantee, where you've got all these extra steps and lots of friction in there, show? It shows that you're desperate for money, that probably money is a scarce resource to you. It signals all these terrible things, right? So brands that do this sludge marketing, A, it's illegal in some places, but B, you will also start to get your brand burnt because of it as well. So if people do want their money back, jump on a call with them, try and solve their problem as much as possible, find out where they're getting stuck, why they can't use the product, why they can't use the service. Go above and beyond. If you really can't solve it from there, don't put up a fight with them, just give them the money back. And then focus on either improving your service offering or getting better customers, okay? So the great thing about guarantees, really, it doesn't matter what type of business you're in, you can always try and reduce the risk for the person who's buying it. I'm in quite a good position, so I don't do guarantees anymore because I get referred by company to company. So I don't have to actively hunt for, consulting or anything like this. But when you are hunting for clients or customers or consulting, and people aren't just coming to you or getting referred to you where you've got massive authority and social proof, you actually want to look to offer a guarantee and say, hey, if you are not happy, I can give you your money back or whatnot. And that is a very persuasive message, particularly in an economy where everything is super expensive to people as well. So whatever business you're in, I highly recommend you do it because it shows confidence in who you are, confidence in your product as well. It shows that just generally you're a good person as well. And you remember, business is long. It's not about making a quick bit of money now, which all these personal brands who friggin' rip people off and that seem to forget. It is about long-term, actually coming up with something sustainable. Actually, when somebody says your name, other people think to themselves, you know what, that's a good person and I'll do business with them. Even if what you offered didn't actually work out for them, all right? You want to maintain likability in people's eyes, okay? So take it easy, folks. Leave me a comment if you've got anything to add to this video. And yeah, see you soon. Take it easy.